Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your May 2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Taurus. And I just want to let you know that the reading today is going to be a little bit different. I know this video, it's not going to be edited the way that my normal videos are. I've been having some tech issues, and so I'm using a whole different camera, like my old setup. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and welcome if it's your first time here. I'm going to lay this spread down, but I just want you to know that if you're curious about any of the decks that I'm using for this reading, just head on down to the description box because they're all listed there. Do the timeline. And then don't forget, because it is your guys' birthday season, I do pull an additional card at the very end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And one more. Okay. So let's get into the oracle cards for you this month. First thing we have coming up, I'm going to pull a truth bomb for you. And we have rebel or rebel, depending if that's an adjective or a verb for you, or noun or verb, whatever part of speech it is. So this really has to go, it's about going against the grain, doing things that are unconventional, even if they scare you, even if people are telling you not to do something or to, maybe check yourself. It's worth considering, but also keep in mind that it's going to be an important time for you to do what's best for you, even if that goes against the status quo. Okay, and then the animal card I have for you is otter. So there's some significant waking up energy that has to do with this card. And I think it just comes down to look like you're looking above the water. So maybe if you've been like drowning in work or drowning in like having a rough time, it's like the otter has a certain level of buoyancy and it can kind of float really easily. So I think that's what you're seeing come through, is either solutions making an appearance, things changing for the better so that you can kind of be guided in the direction that's best for you. So I don't see this month as you really needing to work that hard. It looks like it's unfolding the way it needs to. And then the Sovereign Oracle card for you this month. Container. Be intentional about what or who you wish to show up in the space you have provided. Set the energy for the endeavor up front. Hold space for spirit and trust. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. The other thing that I would recommend is if you're trying to manifest something or if you're trying to get something to come through, make sure you're preparing your physical space, your energetic space for the manifestation. So you want to get ready as if it's already coming. Now let's look at the central energy for you in the month of May. We have Temperance. So balance, equilibrium, finding a flow state that really works for you. That's going to be important this month. It looks like that's the primary focus here, is just what works for you, what needs to be adjusted, what needs to keep going in the way that it's going. Just consider all sides of that. Let me see what's shifting out. We'll get back to the Temperance card, I'm sure. But this is what's shifting out of your space. Wheel of Fortune. Maybe you were going through a really uncertain time or dealing with some stuff that you weren't really sure how it was going to play out or what direction you were going to go in. And the Wheel of Fortune, now when I'm looking at this, it just looks like that is essentially what's supporting your ability to step into the Temperance card. It's like, whichever way, like maybe you got hit with a few things that really weren't going your way, and so now things are shifting, or maybe things were going really, really well for you, and now you kind of have to go edit, revise, readjust whatever it is that you need so that you can propel yourself in the right direction. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that. It's just about the push and pull, the yin and yang, the ups and downs. It's like things are getting tempered. And then the oncoming energy, we have the Hermit. So it has to do with contemplation, extracting wisdom from anywhere you might be able to get it, especially regarding the situations that you have going on or some of the things that you've been wanting to do. So it's like about that consideration and kind of marinating with the ideas first before you execute. And to clarify, we have the Tower. Okay, so the word uprooting is coming up. So it might be that there's something you're considering changing directions on, or kind of, getting rid of some plans or scrapping an idea. I think this is voluntary destruction, if you will, or kind of like needing to go through a demolition period regarding your ideas or whatever it is that's coming up. It could be relationships, it could be business ideas, it could be 50,000 different directions, it could be academic plans. This just looks like, let me contemplate this. I might need to get rid of a few things. I might need to readjust what my plan is. And that's never a bad thing. This is just going to put you in a direction that's best for you. Now let's look at what's going on in the external. So this is kind of like your outer experience. First thing, we have the Two of Wands. So there's a little bit of waiting going on. I think that you might be feeling a little bit impatient, wanting things to move faster than they actually are. The Two of Wands, I really like it because it's a collaborative card, but one of the things that I know a lot of people get frustrated with is the fact that it's also kind of a waiting card, and people really do not like waiting. So that's where it's like I can definitely understand why that would be frustrating, but if you just keep your eye on the prize and trust the timing, it's actually going to happen faster than if you resist it. Okay, and then the other card we have is the Queen of Cups. So this is, for some of you, it'll probably be a person, like a supporter or somebody to help you or somebody to hold space for you. But the other side of this is that it could be that you're needing to be more honest about your feelings with other people and in whatever circumstances present themselves. If you're dissatisfied with something, it's going to be better for you to communicate, hey, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm experiencing, this is what's going on, because that's going to make way for the manifestation to make an appearance. That's going to make things a lot smoother overall, so you can just consider that over the next month. Like, the more you talk about what it is that you're creating and building, the faster it can make its way to you. If you clam up about it, or if you try to bury any of those nuanced perspectives on what it is that you have going, then it's like a closed mouth won't get fed. And so this is just really pushing you to expedite this process by communicating openly, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need. The Queen of Cups is kind of modeling for you what it is that can help you at this time so that all of the things that you're wanting can roll in. Now, this is kind of looking at what's going on internally, so your experience this month. we have the Page of Cups. Okay, so that vulnerability piece can really spook people. Let me see what else is going on. And then we have the Three of Wands. So it looks like you're exercising a lot of third eye building. Essentially, that's what it comes down to. Let me clarify these. Queen of Arrows. Okay, so that's why you had the Rebel card come up. And the Queen of Arrows is equivalent to the Queen of Swords in this deck. So here's the deal. It might not, like I said, make sense to other people. You know, that's definitely clear with this reading. But you have to build it anyway. Like, you have to be vulnerable enough to stay in touch with your desires and your vision. The Three of Wands is about mapping in the astral, and then it materializes in the physical. So the Three of Wands is kind of your blueprint, or the process of creating that blueprint. And the Page of Cups is like the childlike naivete card. It's, you know, that vulnerability and childlike ability to dream really big without, you know, the jaded part. Because when you become an adult, it's like you have enough experience where there's a deep imprint on your brain about the way things are going to go. And even though that's not necessarily true, because the past is not a good indication of the future, but that's where a lot of us live. And so this month is really pushing you to expand and think a little bit bigger. Of course, if you're thinking about manifesting things that are so far beyond your threshold, like, of course, they're not going to come right away. You have to increase your threshold incrementally. And that's what the Temperance card is all about. And the Hermit is kind of helping to support this vision for what it is that you want. And you might need to throw a few things out. You might need to edit your plan. You might need to take a close look at that blueprint and see if it's actually working for you and if it's going to deliver the things that you need, or if you're just projecting a reality that isn't actually going to give you what you want. So it's about balancing out those two things and constantly evaluating as you go along the way. But it's okay to step into that rebel mode for the month of May. I think it's really going to help you. Okay, let's get into the timeline. So we're going to do first, second, third, and fourth quarter. Quarter, week-ish. It's a little bit more fluid. So first quarter for you this month is the Seven of Pentacles. This is about casting a wide net, thinking about all the different perspectives, all the different options. Like, it's all about quantity. With the Seven of Pentacles, it's just about like the numbers. So for example, if you're wanting to get a new job at this point in time, send out 50 applications, not just one. That's one of the things that the Seven of Pentacles teaches us, is you just need to expand your net and then more opportunities will arise. So that's the big piece of advice. If you're wanting a partner, date a whole bunch of people, tap into a large pool of potential partners. That's going to help you find the right one. Okay, now quarter two, we have the Chariot, so full speed ahead. I think there's a lot of stuff that you get really clear on, and that this energy is really going to help you move in the right direction for you. Right? I'm not defining that for you. It just seems like if you do this, and again, you have free will, so if you don't want anything to change this month, I always let people know that nothing has to change. It can stay exactly the same. But if you are casting a wide net, if you are kind of digging into the number side of things and just looking at quantity and doing that, then things happen really quickly and it builds steam really, really quickly. So just keep that in mind. If you're like frustrated with the pace of things, then what I would say is cast a wide net, because then it moves really fast after that. Quarter 3, we have the 5 of Cups. So this is where you feel into your boundaries, because you can see how in this card there's some binding and immobility that's being depicted in that card. And honestly, I think it's just about feeling into your own limitations and your own boundaries, right? We don't want no boundaries. That wouldn't be good necessarily. And we also don't want so many boundaries that we prevent ourselves from making progress. So you have to find that sweet spot. I think you might also, as you move forward, a lot of people can get scared if things are going well, and so you might backtrack a little bit and need to like dip your toe in the water again. So this looks more like the expansion contraction process when you're growing and evolving. So just keep that in mind. It's like expand and then contract, and then expand and contract. And same thing here, this is expansion, this is contraction. I think that we need both in order to, experience this Temperance card and get into the flow of what works and calling in the right experiences for us. So there's nothing wrong with this. Technically, this is disappointment. I'm not reading it that way at all. I think it's just about editing. And then wrapping up the month of May, we have Strength. So getting your power back, I think you really begin to see your own potential when it comes to all of this and really how things are unfolding for you so that you can get things done and make things happen at the end of the day, whatever that looks like. And so this is about kind of, I think if you focus on quantity first, like I was talking about, by the end of the month, you're really able to see how much you have the potential to manifest, and that it's not something that is just like, oh, only special people get to experience that, or any limiting beliefs like that. It's simply not a part of this. It's like you also have that potential. It's just about where you're putting your focus. Okay, now we're going to do a 3-card pick, so you guys know the drill. You're welcome to pick as few or as many cards as you'd like. Okay, card number 1, we have the Lovers. So this is an obvious one if you're looking for partnership. It's like, yep, that can totally make an appearance this month, but I also think it depends like how much work you've been doing on that, right? It doesn't evolve if you're in a state of complacency, right? Because then you're just going to manifest somebody who reflects that back to you. This also represents decision making, so make sure that decision making is something that's in the forefront of your mind. Every decision counts. Every decision will make an impact for you this month, and I think the more you're paying attention to that, the better off you're going to be. Card number 2, we have the Ace of Vessels. This is equivalent to the Ace of Cups. And this is like the new love, the new passion card. And that can be either self-love, romantic love with a partner, or this can also be like a passion project, like something you can give a lot of energy to because you want it to grow. And that can, like I said, whether that be with yourself, with other, or with something you're trying to bring to life. All of those will all fall under the umbrella of where your energy is going this month, or where it would be wise for you to put your energy. Because remember, free will, you get to pick whatever it is you want. All right, card number 3, we have the Moon. The Moon is really important because it's what helps us feel into the right direction. But remember that the only reason why we understand what the right direction is for us is because we can feel into the contrast, that nebulous, confused, uncertain Neptunian energy that comes with the moon. And that's what this is reflecting, is just that you have to sit in that space of, I don't know, I'm uncertain. And then when something feels right, or you get an itch that you want to do something, that's when you want to go and execute on that thing. You can't contemplate forever, but uncertainty is good because that can help you feel into what is certain, what does feel good, what does feel right, and that is what supports your decisions for the long term. Okay, now birthday card for you. Happy birthday to those of you that have birthdays this month, or that have had birthdays that have already passed if you're watching this after the fact. Okay, so first thing, or not the first thing, the last thing in this reading, here we go. The World. Okay, so this is a completion. This is like a completion year for you. I'm reading this more on your solar year. So from your birthday 2019 till your birthday 2020. It looks like you're going to see a lot of loose ends tie up. I think you're going to see your focus refine in a direction that you're sustaining long term. Remember, you guys have that fixed energy so you can propel yourself for the long haul, not just in short sprints, but full-on endurance races. So that's what the World is reflecting. It's just like you're seeing everything come together and wrap itself up in a neat little package. I think this is, it's just going to be something where I don't think there's any time for nonsense. It's like, get to the point, cut to the chase, make it happen, move forward in the direction that feels good to you, and refine along the way, and cut away any excess fat. Trim the fat this year, and that's what's going to help you get things done. All right, my friends, that is all that I have for you today. I certainly hope you've enjoyed this reading as much as I've enjoyed reading for you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing, and if you want to work with me one-on-one, you're welcome to check all of that out in the description box. All of the links are there, all my decks are there, so you can check all of that out, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.